Man, today's sneaker really makes me miss playing ball. Just at the gym, pickup games, playing basketball. We're still at a point in society where that's not going to happen anytime soon for me because I have 2 children under the age of 2. But I'm longing for that day once again. Today we are talking about the Nike LeBron 19s in this white, Dutch blue, or shall we say Space Jam colorway. And I have some thoughts. As LeBrons are one of my favorite sneakers to hoop in outside of Jordans, you know, I feel a little bit of attachment towards the series of LeBron sneakers. And I'm also wondering when we are going to get the types of hyped retro releases for LeBrons the way we do for Jordans now. I mean, maybe it's going to be in his retirement, which sadly is not far from happening. Crazy to think about. Before we get into the finer details of this colorway though, let's first take a closer look. All right guys, welcome back, and now that you've seen a closer look of these bad boys right here, welcome to the channel. My name is Steve. If you are new here, consider joining the fam. We're on the road to 10,000 subscribers, and I want you guys to be a part of it. Your likes, comments, subscription, engagement, all of that is what makes a sneaker channel great. It's not me, it's you, and I appreciate each and every last one of you. Of course, helpful links down in the description below, protective shoe spray and cleaning kits to keep your kicks clean, my favorite sneaker books, as well as links to cop these bad boys, retail links, and the eBay link will be down there as well. So let's get into it. These are the Nike LeBron 19s. This is the shoe that was debuted in the Space Jam 2 movie, and this is kind of the Space Jam colorway. There has been like the fast food colorway and some other ones. I think this is the one that truly pays homage or is inspired by the Space Jam movie, and it's got a dope colorway. I like this Dutch blue and white. It looks good. The thing though about this shoe to me that's striking is that this feels considerably more like chunky and large than previous LeBron models. I am a fan of the 15s and I'm a big fan of the 17s, and I love the Warrior knit on the 17s specifically. This one is a complete departure from all of that. It seems to be a little bit more structurally secure, and it seems to be taking the cushioning to an even greater level. So there is a visible 360 air unit happening here. You have zoom air as well in the midfoot, and this just, I mean, look at the bottoms of these things. It is just big, chunky, bulbous type of outsole here, and then you've got probably like a little fly plate action happening in the middle there. And it is very visually interesting to look at this outsole and see just kind of how it separates from each other, in contrast to my favorite LeBron models where it's much more of a single piece, although there is a lot of air in those as well. That's one of the hallmarks of the LeBron sneakers that I love, is that awesome cushioning. And I recommend LeBrons for people who are just for bigger guys and for people who are playing 4s and 5s who need more cushion and support for their joints. LeBrons are definitely those shoes. All right guys, so I was doing the on foot for these LeBrons. I wasn't planning on doing an on foot because like I can't hoop in them, but then I'm doing other on foots for other sneakers, so I figured why not, let's get the shot. And now I have to make this little supplemental phone video on this review because I was surprised at the fit, and it needs to be talked about a little bit more because I was talking about how the 17s and the 15s are some of my favorite LeBrons. These feel completely different than, say, the 17s. They have way less like cushiony, bouncy, cloud-like feel. And the way these are cut around the ankle, I'm wearing ankle socks, and these are digging into my skin. It's actually kind of miserable. So you have to have tall socks for sure. So right here, this is just digging in. It's terrible. It's not good. The inner sock actually goes all the way down right to about there where you see my finger poking through. So there is a lot of exposure here. So you definitely have to wear tall socks. And I would say this is definitely more of a stiffer ride than what you get with some of the previous LeBron models. The air units are there, but they either have a higher PSI or they just generally don't have as much give as the air units in previous models go. So I just had to add this in there because I didn't feel like I was doing my job in giving this review after discovering what I did with this on foot. So all right, back to the better looking footage. And as much as I love the Warrior knit of the previous LeBron models, this one does feel and look pretty cool, and I can't say that I don't like it necessarily. This particular colorway in general looks really good with the white and this semi-translucent overlay they have here. And then this is kind of cool. It was throwing me off as I was recording the B-roll on these, is this kind of faded or frosted looking bubbles here on the back. I always thought my camera was out of focus trying to pick up that Nike swoosh. That's a cool element and it feels really cool as well. And then there are some longitude and latitude markings along the back of both sneakers, and they're different. And according to Nike, these are important locations for LeBron and just making LeBron or this sneaker or something like that. And I'm not exactly sure where these locations are, but I have an idea that they might be also on the shoe as well. So if you see the pattern happening underneath here, on this base layer, this is not just like a random type of pattern. It doesn't say anything. What it actually is on each shoe, one has a map of the Nike World headquarters and the other has a map of the Warner Brothers lots, the studio lots, obviously where they film the movies. And the Nike World headquarters, I mean, is also very important to LeBron as well, right? He's been with Nike before he even got drafted, so the World headquarters are probably like a second home to him as well. So I theorize that these are the locations of both of those two places, though I could be wrong, especially if these coordinates carry into other models where this map print you see here is not part of it. Again, with the cool elements, I love this translucent top of the tongue here. It again has those kind of frosted pieces like the sides here, and you can see in blue there is a minimalist printing of the lion head, which is of course classic LeBron styling. You've got the LeBron James logo at the bottom of the tongue here. The tongue is also this kind of like ripstop-y feeling material. The materials on this feel really cool. They're all like synthetic materials or plastics or rubber foam, but aside from them not being natural, which is not that big of a deal, especially when it comes to technical and performance-based sneakers like this one is, the technical fabrics and materials that people are producing are superior to the natural or organic sneaker materials that we are accustomed to. So that's not necessarily a bad thing here. I think sometimes you can get confused into thinking that if it doesn't have leather on it, it's not as nice of a sneaker. I don't think that's the case here. This one looks and feels awesome, and these materials feel and look great, though there is a touch of leather at the top of the tongue. I don't know if that's synthetic or real or not, but either way, it's there, and debossed in there, it says strive for greatness. It's subtle and almost kind of hard to read, but it's there once you look closely. The lacing system, of course, traditional lacing system, I'm sure is going to give you a nice locked in feel. And then at the bottom of the lace, as you can see, it says chosen on the right foot and one on the left foot. And then you can see from there, this blue outline that traces the eyelets and goes all the way back around to the heel counter. That's a really dope element as well. And then finally, you have these small cage pieces on the side here that go all the way underneath and connect to the outsole, and they also act as eyelets as well. On the lateral side, you have the King logo, or like a crown logo, that's a little bit more abstract and not like the normal LeBron King logo. That is cut out of the piece, and then below that is the embossed LeBron signature. And then on the lateral side, you have a sideways Nike swoosh cut out as well. Just looks good, looks dope. Again, this feels like a pretty nice and very high-end sneaker, as it should be, as it is the flagship LeBron like we're talking about here. And in terms of the combination of this foam and these gigantic air units you get in this sneaker, you really cannot beat the comfort. So in the hopefully near future, when I'm playing pickup basketball again in some capacity, or even just shooting around, I will be gladly trying these sneakers out, though I am a little skeptical if I'm going to like these as much as I love the LeBron 17s. So just something to keep in mind there. So other than the nods to the Warner Brothers lots on this upper, which are pretty subtle and you really wouldn't know just looking at it, there are some hints to the Space Jam: A New Legacy movie that is in the insole. The insoles have A New Legacy and the logo printed on them. And then the unboxing itself, the tissue paper has a cool kind of graffiti style graphics, and you see some of the Space Jam designs happening throughout there, but it's not an overtly Space Jam kind of themed type of colorway, which personally I appreciate. I mean, as much as I love the OG Space Jam movie, I can't say I've watched the new one, though I haven't heard the best of things. One reason why I love the Space Jam Jordan 11s is that it doesn't say Space Jam all over it, though when you see them, you know that those are the Space Jam Jordan 11s. So in the same vein, this does not have overt Space Jam branding on it, and I think that's the right move, and it makes this shoe a lot more versatile and I think more appealing to more people, and I don't think you're missing anything by not having like a big Space Jam logo here or Bugs Bunny or something. And like I said, this isn't the only colorway that has dropped. There have been at least 2 or 3 others, so you don't have just one option, though I believe this is one of the best looking ones if you had to ask me, which is why I sprung for it, and this is probably my first and last review on LeBron 19s until I can actually get onto a court and give you guys a real performance review, which I haven't done in such a long time, and I am itching to get back to it one of these days, hopefully in the near future. All right, guys, and that does it for me on the Nike LeBron 19s and the Space Jam colorway. This white and Dutch blue are the colors, and other than it being a little too chunky, I'm into it. Let me know what you think about them down in the comments below. I will hit you back, and also, if you are new here, consider joining the fam. We're on the road to 10,000 subscribers. The goal is to hit 10,000 subscribers by the end of 2022. I think we can do it. it. I believe in you, and you guys are what makes the sneaker channel great. So come along for the ride. I very much appreciate each and every last one of you. Of course, check the helpful links out down in the description below. Protective shoe spray and cleaning kits to keep your kicks clean, my favorite sneaker books, as well as links to cop these bad boys right here at retail, and also the eBay link to maybe get your hands on a pair below retail. And of course, eBay does the authenticity guarantee, so you know you're copying a legit pair. And with all that being said, hope you have a good day, good evening, good night whenever you're watching this, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.